County investigators are trying to identify the woman behind a terrifying call claiming to have shot her mother. It is the latest incident of swatting, prank calls designed to unleash SWAT teams on unsuspecting people.
911, what are you reporting?
It is a call that is chilling.
I don't know how to say this or anything, but I've been feeling depressed lately.
A daughter depressed and despondent.
Me and my mom got in an argument, so I shot her.
In that moment, King County emergency operator Michelle Holford
You said that you shot her?
tries to stop the 17-year-old girl from turning the gun on herself.
I'm just gonna kill myself after.
Well, I don't want you to do that.
I know that I kind of got choked up like, oh my gosh, I'm losing this. I kind of felt.
As Holford tried to keep the caller calm,
When you know someone's shot, you want to get patrol started right away.
members of the King County SWAT team, along with police from Sammamish, Issaquah, and the fire department, converged on the address they were given.
If I see cops, I think I'm gonna shoot them.
Not knowing who or what they would encounter. How believable did that sound to you?
Chillingly effective in certainly convincing me that we had a serious situation.
Over the next 90 minutes, deputies tried to make contact with those inside.
We're going to be knocking on your door again.
We tried to make contact over any means we could.
My wife and my child, we were all asleep upstairs. I heard a beating at the door, like an extremely aggressive knocking at the door. And so I come down the stairs and I open the door probably about like this.
Darren Farmer was startled to see a dozen deputies, some with ballistic shields, others pointing their guns directly at him.
Full gear, hands-on weapons, large weapons, right here at the door. It was very concerning. It was frightening, to say the least.
As you found out that you were a victim of swatting, did you think to yourself, why would somebody do this to me?
Absolutely, absolutely. We had no clue why.
While the motive is unclear for this call, race has been a factor in other swatting incidents.
Swatting for me is very personal. It's something I had never heard of until I found myself on the receiving end of an Atomwaffen group that was targeting journalists of color.
Naveed Jamali is editor-at-large for Newsweek and a former FBI double agent. Members of a neo-Nazi group put him and his family on a list of people to swat.
Their goal is first and foremost to terrorize, but there's a secondary goal, and that secondary goal is in fact to silence those voices, and not just silence them by fear, but in some cases with a violent outcome.
I think you're getting swatted.
Swatting began as a dangerous prank, with unsuspecting gamers surprised by SWAT teams during live streams. In Wichita, it led to an innocent man being killed by police.
Hi, Seattle Police.
Yeah, my name's Flaming Bond, and I have 5 hostages in the house at the moment. I want $5 grand, I'm gonna kill them all.
When Seattle police got this emergency call, heavily armed officers converged on an apartment, unaware there was a target of swatting on the other side of the door.
So we got a 911 caller saying that someone we think in this address was holding 5 people hostage. They needed ambulances. So
okay, well,
here we are.
That's the reason for our response.
How dangerous is swatting?
It's incredibly dangerous, and it's dangerous for not just the target, it's also dangerous for police.
Naveed Jamali joined forces with the Seattle Police Department, helping to create an anti-swatting registry for people concerned they might be targeted.
We've really led the way in the nation in moving towards emerging threats, one of which is swatting.
Pretty nice day, huh?
And Governor Inslee signed a bill to increase the penalties for swatting. Arresting them is a bigger challenge.
So we have these serial swatters, and without police recognizing that a swat has occurred, it's never passed on to the feds, and that loss of data really impacts the ability to investigate and stop these people.
What is the address?
Back at the emergency call center, Michelle Holford remains on the job she's had for nearly 22 years.
I will say that this one bothered me a lot.
Can you tell me where the gun is?
A call that resulted in so much focus, force.
We're not as ready to respond to a real emergency while we're focused in on safely resolving this one.
And fear.
So I shot her.
Wow.
Darren Farmer hadn't heard the 911 call until now.
Wow, that's all I can say is wow. It's baffling.
Before deputies left, Darren took this photo of the response outside his front door.
It leaves me with no words
Do you have the gun in hand right now?
because I can't understand it.
Abby?
And I can't understand what would drive someone to want to do something like that.
Abby?
Now, I spoke with Darren Farmer this afternoon. He says he understands the police response and thinks it was handled well. I also spoke with the King County Sheriff's Office. They tell me they have not made any arrests in this case. It is challenging because a lot of swatting calls like this one come in on non-emergency lines, and it's tough to trace.